I now give the floor to those council members who wish to make statements. I pass the floor to the representative of Algeria.
Thank you, Madam President. I thank Mr. Ramesh Rajasingham and Mrs. Janti Soerpito for their briefing. We greatly admire and appreciate your work for those in need. We express our sincere condolences to all families of aid workers who have been killed by the Israeli occupying power in Gaza. Today, we are gathered once again as the aggression against the innocent Palestinian civilian reach for its 6-month mark in 2 days. 6 months. 6 months of barbarity and collective punishment. 6 months of suffering for the people of Gaza. 6 months that test the humanity of each and every one of us. 6 months that test the international order and our ability to preserve coexistence for future generations. 6 months that pushed the entire population of Gaza into famine. The ICJ observed, and I quote, "Palestinians in Gaza are no longer facing only a risk of famine, but that famine is setting in." To address this situation, the ICJ issued 2 orders to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people. However, the Israeli occupying power did not comply. Finally, the Security Council also acted by demanding an immediate ceasefire through its Resolution 2728. Yet, more than 10 days after its adoption, the occupying power blatantly refuses to implement it. A conduct unworthy of a United Nations member bound under Article 25 of the Charter to carry out the decision of the Security Council. Yet, it is not surprising from a killing machine that commits all violation of international law with total impunity. They are confident that they will be never held accountable. And the occupying power continues to commit more and more crime, more and more violation. We must put an end to this aberration. Madam President, the crime perpetrated against World Central Kitchen personnel is not surprising and is no exception. It was an attack that targeted them systematically, car by car, as stated by Chief Jose Andres, the founder of World Central Kitchen. It is just a new chapter in the book of crimes committed The victims are not Palestinian. Their savage killing is evenly commendable. The large media coverage and outrage would be unjustified if it is not as equal as to that on the killing of Palestinian civilians. Should we forget that the Israeli occupying power has killed more than 33,000 Palestinians, of whom over 70% were children and women, innocent children and women, since October the 7th. Should we recall that 224 aid workers have been killed by the occupying power since October the 7th? Should we recall that 484 health workers were killed since October the 7th? The occupying powers' reaction to this horrible incident is shameful. Why do these 7 people deserve apologies from the highest occupying authorities and not the thousands of innocent Palestinians massacred during these last 6 months? We have heard no apologies from those who proclaim to be peace lovers. They prove with their actions Palestinians are not as human beings as others. They are human animals, they said. For us, all lives matter. Palestinian lives matter. All lives matter. And to those who believe in the investigation and justice of the Israeli occupying power, I say, where is justice to Rachel Corrie? Where is justice for James Miller? And where is justice for Tom Hundar, to name a few? These peace activists were killed years ago, and no justice have been delivered to them. The killing of humanitarian workers in Gaza is only a continuation of the doctrine of oppression and occupation practices in Palestine. Kill Palestinians and their sympathizers. You have carte blanche. And once again, the verdict will be that these were regrettable incidents. And the victim endangered themselves by knowingly entering a war zone, even within the confliction. Madam President, since the start of the aggression, the UN agencies, NGOs, humanitarian actors, and member states have said that the confliction mechanism in Gaza is not working. Simply is not working. Not for lack of coordination, but rather a deliberate act to spread fear among Palestinians and those who want to help them. We have said it, and we repeat it again today. Humanitarian actors cannot be asked to serve at the peril of their lives. There must be assured of the condition that allow them to reach those in need. And only an immediate ceasefire can create those conditions. Otherwise, the Palestinian population risks being left to fend for itself, and the worst will be inevitable. Thousands of deaths from starvation, as predicted by various reports. A situation that will further deteriorate with the decision to freeze the World Central Kitchen operations and the maritime corridor from Cyprus. A decision taken while the Israeli occupying power persists in its campaign and attempt to block and to dismantle UNRWA, the backbone of the UN humanitarian operation in Gaza. The international community, the Security Council, cannot remain inert as life drains from Gaza. In the name of humanity, we must act, and we must act now. I thank you.